quick video on my roach colony. It's just in one of these big containers. I don't know if it's a 70 or 80 liter container. Just clips open like this. And what I've done to the lid, I don't know if you can see that, I've used a fine gauze. I've cut a hole in the lid and put in fine gauze. So the finer gauze you can put in, the better, to stop any flies or any small michies and whatnot from getting into your colony. So that's the lid side. On the outside, I've got so I'll get to the cockroaches now. On the side of it, I've got a heating pad there. It gets to about 25 degrees or so, something around that temperature range. And this is basically inside, a lot of eggshell containers. I keep dry food separate here. Sorry, these are a lot of little beetles that come out of the meal and stuff that I get for the cockroaches. And then I keep I don't have any water, so I feed them on a staple of carrots, pumpkin, lettuce, and that gets a lot of the moisture. So that I've put in a separate container here. And as you can see, well, I'll show you on this side because it just needs a little bit of maintenance at the moment. But you'll see here I've got a whole lot of nymphs, adults. A lot of the eggs have hatched. So you'll see I've got a lot of them in here. And as you go through, you can see for yourself how many babies I've got. They just go on and go on, and closer you get to the end, the more they get. So that's a whole lot of egg cases that have hatched, that they've dropped. So that is down there, and the same thing here. So underneath this, it just needs a bit of a clean at the moment, but at the bottom I generally use this wheat bran. So the wheat bran, you just put a thin layer of it at the bottom of the cage when you first set it up, and that just creates an environment to absorb any moisture and stuff like that. But generally that's the cockroach colony. I've got males, I've got females, I've got nymphs. They love the heat pad. I keep it on even during warmer days. And what I do is when I need some roaches, I got one of these tubs, sort of put it in the what's its name, and then any roaches I want, I just knock them in, and then from there I pick this up and then feed my teas. You know what I'm saying? So that makes feeding a lot easier, and that's generally keeps me going for a long time, and they self-breed. And food I use in the dry mix, I've told you about the wet mix. I don't use water. I generally buy this from my local cat box hyper. It's called it's a 5 kg of chick growing mash, and then I mix it together with fish flakes, fish flake food. You mix those together, and that's generally the consistency of it. It's very fine. So that gut loads your cockroaches, and yeah, it's healthy for reptiles, lizards, tarantulas, you name it. So yeah, this is my colony. So a lot of these old dead athecas I'll remove. There is one carrying an egg case. There's a male. Yeah, so there's quite a lot in here. And like I say, I've got a lot of nymphs, a lot of babies that have come up now. And yeah, so that's it. Biggest thing, like I say, is ventilation. Remember, also on your cage, just make sure it's smooth-sided. You don't have any of these like sort of corrugations where the cockroaches can climb. So just make sure it's always smooth on the edges, so they can't climb out. But generally, the red runners can't climb too much. Just the lower parts, the little nymphs can climb. But then I generally keep the top half. I wipe it down and make sure it's as smooth as possible, so no escapees. Well, I hope that helps. But yeah, and it works very well. And I just keep the lid closed, snap it back, And yeah, all the ventilation. This ventilation works like a charm. You do not want humidity, because remember, I've got the heat pad going, so it creates heat, dryness. So if it's too enclosed, you're going to create humidity, and that is going to, you're not going to have a thriving colony of red runners. Same principle with dubias. If you want to keep dubias, you can keep them exactly the same conditions, from what I've heard and learned from Dave's Beasties. But that's generally it. I hope this helps, and good luck with your colony.